$66 million in food stamp money gone. And the people behind it weren't who you think.
Hey guys, it's Old School Will back at it again. Tonight we're going to talk about the big fish. And what I'm talking about is the guys at the top of the totem pole, so to speak, that are raking in billions of dollars of taxpayers' money and the different ways and methods that they're using to do this. So if you hang around, I'm going to show you some big fish that have been caught this year, 2025, and there are a lot more that's going to be on the way. What is the government doing about it? You're going to see that as well. And if you stick around to the final clip, you're going to see what this one particular judge did, and it wasn't anything too nice for the person that was involved. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on.
One of the ways that people commit food stamp fraud or SNAP fraud is you get a card and it's got a certain amount of value to it, and then you sell it for less than the value of what you can buy in terms of food, but you sell it for cash. It creates incentives for people to, number one, acquire as many cards as possible. Number two, to keep as high a balance on these cards as possible.
I've seen cards as much as $20,000 in this that is on an EBT card.
So how does that happen? Just as you've seen a food stamp card, an EBT card with a balance of $20,000, and then you could go to a grocery store and buy $20,000 worth of food in one setting if you wanted to. How does that happen?
People are just kept on the program for years, and they keep rolling these balances up, and
whether they're using the card or not.
Now, they're supposed to get rid of it and expunge the benefits after 9 months.
Yeah.
But if all you go and do is buy a stick of gum once every 9 months, your balance in your card, even if you're no longer on SNAP, that card is still good.
Yeah.
It's happening across the country. In fact, the largest that I've heard about is right at around $60,000 on an EBT card.
Damn!
No, nobody's going hungry in that house, obviously.
Imagine walking into a store, swiping your SNAP EBT card, and boom, you're part of a $66 million fraud scheme. Sounds like a movie plot, right? Well, it's real, and it involves a USDA employee and 5 others. Here's how it went down. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, helps low-income families buy food. These 6 individuals allegedly hacked the system by setting up 160 unauthorized EBT terminals in stores that weren't even supposed to accept SNAP. Over $30 million of illegal transactions flowed through these terminals, and the mastermind behind it all, Michael Kehoe, who allegedly ran the operation with his co-conspirators. But wait, there's more! Arlassa Davis, a USDA employee, allegedly sold confidential government information to the fraudsters, helping them steal even more money.
My client should go right to fucking jail! The son of a bitch is guilty! Man there! That man is a slime!
The U.S. Attorney's Office states that the charges against them should serve as a warning. If you exploit anti-poverty programs, you will be held accountable.
Police in Manatee County, Florida carried out a large operation. After several months of undercover work, they issued more than 100 arrest warrants and arrested almost 40 people on the spot. The action was one of the biggest in recent years. The truth shocked many. Food benefit cards, EBT, which were designed to help low-income families buy food, were being sold and misused. Police said the main suspect was Gerald Millis, a local restaurant owner. He bought EBT cards for only 50 to 60 cents on the dollar. Then he used those cards at Sam's Club to purchase large amounts of food and fill his restaurant storage. Investigators later confirmed that he used 53 different EBT cards. The case did not stop there. Police also caught 55 people who sold their cards directly to undercover officers.
You serious?
Some of these people even admitted openly that they needed the cash to buy drugs. For taxpayers, this was a painful reality. Their hard-earned dollars collected through taxes were supposed to support families in need. Instead, the money was wasted and abused. Police also expressed their frustration. They said, "These EBT cards were funded by your tax money and my tax money." The scandal raised a serious question for the public. Can we allow such abuse to continue?
Enter your PIN. Your SNAP balance is $23,235. I'm Rena Sargentopoulos. We begin tonight with yet another suspect now indicted in the massive Feeding Our Future fraud scandal.
The Minneapolis grocery store owner is the 77th defendant charged in that extensive scheme. And prosecutors allege he has ties to other suspected fraud as well. Lou Ragoose joins us now with our top story. Lou?
Julie and Rena, 45-year-old Usman Kamara owns Kay's Dollar Grocery and Deli, also known as Kay's African Market, on Broadway in North Minneapolis. According to the indictment, the USDA disqualified him from participating in SNAP 10 years ago because of suspected fraud. And now he's charged in the largest pandemic fraud case in the nation.
Mr. Kamara, do you have any comment?
No, sir.
Usman Kamara is the 77th person charged in the massive $300 million Feeding Our Future fraud case. According to the indictment, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Kamara claimed to serve more than 300,000 meals to children out of his small grocery store in North Minneapolis. Federal prosecutors say Kay's Dollar Grocery and Deli, also called Kay's African Market, had already been disqualified from participating in SNAP because of suspected fraud. Now, a grand jury indictment charges him with stealing about $1 million meant to feed hungry children. The owner is also charged with wire fraud for allegedly using more than $200,000 of the fraud money to buy the building where his store is located.
If I own this building and I want to be here for the next 20, 30 years, nobody can kick me out. It's mine.
NPR News interviewed Kamara in 2020 after he defended his store from rioters after the murder of George Floyd. Now, since he allegedly purchased the building with fraud money, the indictment says it's subject to forfeiture, so the feds can recoup some of the funds. However, past cases have indicated that other money referenced in the indictment, including a $90,000 wire transfer to Hong Kong, alleged bribes paid to a Feeding Our Future employee, and funds spent to pay off Kamara's credit cards, is likely gone. So the Feeding Our Future worker who Kamara allegedly paid $87,000 in bribes is charged, but that person fled to Somalia before the very first indictments came down. Of the 77 total defendants, 56 of them have been convicted so far. Julie.
So I noticed you said 300 million in fraud now. We used to be saying 250 million, and now we have 77 defendants. Do you know when this ends? The number of defendants, dollar amount?
Well, the U.S. Attorney's Office has not been definitive on that. We do know of specific people that are suspected of participating in the fraud who have not been charged yet. We don't know if they will be charged, but we do know that the U.S. Attorney's Office is also heavily looking into the autism fraud and the housing fraud. We expect more to happen with that very soon.
All right. Thank you, Lou.
Go? Yeah. You do your job. So somebody puts an EBT card in there, what do you close your eyes? You don't look?
I don't know.
Well, what do you know? So the reason we're here is for your food stamps. You don't have a license to take food stamps here. That white machine on the counter, the white dollar point of sale machine. You're gonna tell me it don't do EBT? You're sure? Why don't you got your phone, call the owner. Tell him to come on down, we're gonna have a little chat.
And then the extension that they had connected to it?
We'll look at it and see what the Walmart is, but if it was in, a small store could generate $1 million in illegal transactions in a year without difficulty at all.
So this is becoming very popular.
Yes, unfortunately it is. How long have you been taking EBT here?
I don't have any.
You don't have EBT. Besides, you take EBT and you got EBT machine at the counter. And we sent somebody in here earlier today and used EBT. So please,
I don't know about that. I worked there with credit. I didn't have any EBT. I didn't work. I don't know about those stores. I guess.
So this acts as the PIN capture, as we have on the point of sale. But instead of getting the keys logger strokes, as you put it on your point of sale terminal, it will take video. So as it's sitting on the video, looking down at the PIN, It's gathering video and it runs constantly. So if you're putting in your code, 1234 enter, it's entered on the camera device. Bad guys will retrieve this device, download the video, and then they'll pull out the streaming device that is inside the card reader. So that will sit in the card reader when you input your card. So it'll fit right on the bottom. So when you use your card, acting the same measure as this, as you're swiping through here, except you're getting the data on the deep inside.
Next time you use somebody's EBT card, I want you to think about Clarence. Clarence had sold his cousin Ahmad some stuff for $100 in food stamps. When Clarence tried to use the EBT card, he found out that it didn't have $100 in food stamps on it. He called his cousin Ahmad and cursed him out. And later that day, Clarence pulled up on Ahmad. They started arguing again, and Clarence punched him. After punching him, Clarence pulled out his weapon and fired at Ahmad. And sadly, Ahmad passed away. Clarence was later arrested and got himself life in prison without parole.
So the Welfare Fraud Department of Bay County came back to my house this morning. 7 o'clock this morning, by the way. I don't know. Their hours freaking suck. For a Saturday, for food stamps. Anyways, so pretty much, I am facing 3 years in jail. Or $40,000 worth of welfare benefits I have to pay back. And I have 90 days to do it. There is no payment plan. They have financing that they have banks that they work with, and I can go through them, but they don't do payment plans themselves for this kind of situation. $40,000 in 90 days, or I face 3 years in jail. That includes food stamps, the cash assistance, the Section 8. I don't get any of those anymore, and I will never be able to reapply for any of those programs for the rest of my life. How the hell do they expect me to live? I can't get a job. I refuse to get a job. I'm not doing it. So they are going to have to figure something else out, because the taxpayers need to step up and support me and my 6 children. Okay, that is their job, not mine. I'm not going to jail, and I'm not paying you back shit. So good luck.
Tonight, 6 people are now charged with a huge fraud and bribery scam targeting food stamps. Listen to this. One of the arrested people in this, a USA employee, that's the government agency that oversees food stamp benefits. According to the Justice Department, the group set up a network that supplied approximately 160 unauthorized EBT terminals to stores across the New York area. Those terminals then illegally processed more than $30 million in EBT transactions. And the USDA employee who's charged actually worked in the division responsible for identifying food stamp fraud. Earlier this month, we highlighted a national scam in our special report, Faces of the Forgotten. Thousands of people in Alabama have had millions of dollars stolen from their EBT accounts. And for the last 5 months, they say they have not been reimbursed.
Living in an almost Bay couple living in an almost $400,000 home is suspected of food stamp fraud.
Investigators believe they intentionally committed public assistance fraud to the tune of $115,000. Our Brett Lemoyne live outside Whitefish Bay Village Hall with new details tonight. Brett?
Well, guys, this is a couple that seemed to have it all, but apparently they wanted more in the form of government handouts. Tan stone, bright blue trim. It's a home that stands out near the corner of Santa Monica Boulevard and Bell Avenue in Whitefish Bay. Now it's a home neighbors talk about.
I mean, they got a nice house. I wouldn't think that they would have money problems.
And it has nothing to do with the decor. Detailed in a search warrant executed by Whitefish Bay police earlier this week is an alleged scheme to fleece the government out of nearly $115,000. Investigators say Todd Schaller and Mary Gallagher live here with their daughter. It's a home valued at roughly $380,000.
I'm shocked. I didn't know anything was going on.
But according to court documents, Gallagher had reported she lived alone in this home in Shorewood. Records show the couple sold this place in 2009. Officials believe the fake address was done so the couple could hide income and collect government assistance. Since 2006, it breaks down to nearly $64,000 from the food share program and $51,000 from Medicaid. An anonymous letter tipped off investigators and even included copies of Gallagher's Quest card, applications for free school lunches, and this 2012 Milwaukee Journal Sentinel article that showed off their lavish home and, quote, blended household, clearly defining the couple as living together. The tipster says they have for 9 years. When police arrived to search the place this week,
Lots of sirens, about 7:30 in the morning, sirens. There was looked out the window.
It caused the kind of scene that will likely put Gallagher and Schaller back in the newspaper, but for different reasons.
So we just thought something bad happened over there.
Now, both were arrested but have since been released from custody. Investigators from the Whitefish Bay Police Department declined to go on camera tonight. We also reached out to the State Health Services fraud investigator assigned to this case. They did not return our telephone calls. Reporting live in Whitefish Bay, Brett Lemoyne.
They're stealing your stamps.
I just broke down saying someone stole all my money.
Thieves are getting away with millions of dollars. Food stamps wiped off of your EBT card in seconds.
I knew I had money on my card.
From this DHS worker allegedly caught changing PIN numbers to buy groceries for herself, to skimmers waiting for you to swipe at the counter.
A big inconvenience.
The Shade Room is getting down to the bottom of it and what the feds need you to do before you use your EBT card again. Don't be fooled by the warm smile. What police say 57-year-old Nadine Jean-Baptiste did. She was a principal clerk at the Department of Human Services in Rhode Island for over a decade. She supervised customer service assistants and had full access to EBT printing machines there. She knows the system. For 4 years, police say Nadine accessed people's personal information to check their EBT card balances. She then went in and changed their PIN numbers so that she could use their cards. 408 of them since January 2020.
I'm not going to, the length of probation is outside the agreement. So it's going to be more than 4 years in this court because she has a lot of work that needs to be done to. I don't know why you're giving me the attitude.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are. Either that or it's because you're high. I don't know which one it is, but you're giving me attitude, and that attitude will most likely be readjusted by me at the Bexar County Jail. So I don't know if your attorney told you this, but I can send you to the Bexar County Jail as a condition of this probation, and I can also send you to the state jail facility as a condition of this probation for attitude readjustment. Do you want that?
No.
All right, so I'm going to sentence her to 6 years deferred adjudication. You're getting a job, and there are plenty of jobs that are available. You're going to knock your pride aside, and if you're going to be flipping burgers at McDonald's or working on fries, you're going to be the best fry person you can be until you move up. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
9th grade.
9th grade. Why did you drop out?
I had a problem at home.
What were these problems? You using drugs?
No, not necessarily. Just like things that were going on with my mom's marriage and everything else.
And what's that tattoo on your neck?
It says only the strong survive.
All right. People love to put down sayings on their bodies because they can't remember them. All right, it's going to be a $1,500 fine probated, proof of employment, and it's going to be proof of full-time employment within 15 days. If you have to get 2 part-time jobs, you will get 2 part-time jobs for the court. Full-time employment is at least 40 hours a week. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Has Child Protective Services been in your life?
Yes.
And so were your rights terminated?
No.
What happened to your parental rights?
I still have my rights, but I just don't have my daughter. My county disagreed to take care of me until I get, take care of my daughter until I get back on my feet.
Parenting classes, and I want intensive parenting classes. There's to be 100.
Okay, if y'all made it to the end of the video, what do you think? You think old school's on the right track now? So, like I said, I'm changing my format up here. But if you're interested in more material like this, please hit that like, subscribe, share, comment, all the above. And let's get this party started, because old school is taking the gloves off and he's telling it like it is. We have a screwed up situation here, and we need to talk about it. So what do you think about some of these big fish that have been caught, even from our own government? How in the world you steal $60-some million from the place where you work and nobody sees it? Tells you a lot, doesn't it, folks? But anyhow, I really enjoyed making this one, and I plan on making a whole lot more, Lord willing, of course. But what do you think? And you thought I forgot, didn't you? You guys stay blessed.